Hey guys, what's up? Tori here. I hope you all are having a great day so far. It is currently extremely rainy and stormy. If you didn't just hear that lovely boom there. But yeah, it is currently quite a yucky, stormy day. And I apologize for not getting around to doing a reborn video at all last week, guys. I ended up being really busy. I ended up going over to my cousin's house to help her out with stuff, and um, yeah, I just was super busy because one of my nieces, her birthday is actually today, and so I was helping, my cousin, her out with her birthday stuff and watching kids and doing some babysitting for her, helping her set things up and all that. So yeah, I was super busy last week, so I apologize for not getting around to doing a reborn video at all. But I will be able to do one tomorrow. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to do one tomorrow, so just thought I would say that right away. And so then today is going to be back to like my book blog things, and I have not read any more out of Psych's Guide to Crime Fighting for the Totally Unqualified. I have not gotten the chance to read more out of that, so I will not be talking about that at all today, but I will be talking about a book that I'm reading on my Nook here. So, and I just got done reading a book, actually, and it actually, wow, I don't know why it's on that, but I just got done reading a book called, hold on, this is called Heaven Changes Everything. And basically what it is it is a devotional that is written from the book Heaven is for Real. If you have not read Heaven is for Real, you definitely would want to read that before reading this, because this is like a devotional for that book. So you would want to read that book first. But I was reading this with my reciprocal relationships partner with church. We have not actually discussed the book in quite a while, but we have been. But yeah, sorry, I got kind of sidetracked for a second there. But I have been taking like notes about everything that I've read. Like each little section here is one chapter, and I put stars by the chapters that I thought were really cool. Like chapter 4 was called Solving the Puzzle, and what I wrote is basically kind of what the chapter's about. It's what experiences put pieces together for you on the Bible and what it's telling you, so you can visualize it and make it come to life and like make it relate to you, which I think is important for everybody, because what the Bible teaches really won't mean anything unless you can make it relate to you, and so that it can somehow relate to your life and your experiences. And I could go through all of the chapters that I starred, but I starred quite a few of them, because there were quite a few of them that had pretty good meanings to me. Some of them are kind of long. But yeah, just different things like that, just different lessons. Like Forgiveness is for Real was chapter 7. That's one that I had started. That chapter was like all about forgiveness. Chapter 8 was called Thanks for Being Imperfect. It lets you know that it's a chapter that's pretty much all about, that it's okay to be imperfect. Chapter 9, A Mixture of Faith and Doubt, is kind of where your faith plays when you have a lot of doubt about things, like, what God is doing in your life, that kind of thing. Chapter 10, Which Way You Gonna Run? Basically a chapter telling you that you should, in your darkest of times, you should always run to God and nowhere else. Chapter 12, The Blessing of Friends. This talks about like how great friends are in your life and how important friends are in your life. I'm just listing like all the chapters that I have starred that I really liked. Chapter 14, A Journey Through Humility. It just kind of talks about humility and like, I get kind of being humble in a way, and how that works in your faith. Chapter 16, Find Your Own Faith, is basically a chapter on, you got to come to your faith on your own, in your timing, and, when you feel that God is calling you, that's when, your faith is important. That one I think was probably one of my favorite chapters right there. And then I got chapter 19, Life as a Sermon. Basically, like, your life is its own sermon. Your story is a sermon. Your experiences and how you've grown in your faith is a sermon of its own, and you should share it with people. Chapter 20 is the people. Basically, chapter how about like your material possessions and the things you own don't matter. Like, even this YouTube channel of mine doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is the people in your life that you share your experiences and your life with. Chapter 21, At Home in Heaven, basically talks about how your true home is in heaven, and that this place here on earth is temporary. Chapter 22, Heaven, You're Gonna Like It, basically talks about just how wonderful heaven is and how much, we're really gonna enjoy it when we're there. Chapter 23, Heavenly Comforters, just things that kind of like are to comfort you when you think about heaven and make you be like, we'll, can go there, and that thing, and like, what can the things that about heaven that can comfort us and excuse me, in our scariest times. Chapter 25, Connecting Through Loss. It just kind of talks about when we go through loss, how it is that we can connect that with the Word and the Word can help us get through it, and also just connecting with other people. Chapter 27, Unforgivable. No. Basically talks about how there is no sin that is unforgivable, that, no matter what you do, it can be forgiven. If you rob a bank, it can be forgiven. If you beat somebody up, it can be forgiven. If you lied to someone, it can be forgiven. If you murdered someone, it can be forgiven. That, God is a very forgiving God, and He forgives you. There is no sin that is too big for Him to forgive. I really, 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 really liked that chapter too. Chapter 29, Urgent. How it's extremely important that you have God that you have Jesus and God in your heart, so that way you can get to heaven and you can be in heaven, because without that you can't get to heaven. So that's just how urgent it is to get to heaven, to have God and Jesus in your heart so you can get to heaven. Chapter 30, Is Your Light On? Basically is a chapter all about, do you have that light on your head that shows that you are walking a good Christian walk, and that you will be going to heaven, and your life is, things are good, you're right with God, and your faith is good, and that kind of thing. Chapter 31, The Coach's Challenge. This one was more for men, but basically it talks about how you have to man up, how you have to tell your family that you have Jesus in your heart and you're going to heaven. So that way when you die, you don't have to worry about, them being worried about you, Chapter 32 was Contagious Faith, how faith is contagious and you should spread it and share it and teach other people about God and that kind of thing. Chapter 33, A Child's Prayers. Basically, just, we should have that faith of an innocent child, and pray like an innocent child, just saying, God, make this just saying your prayers very childlike, and you know, just make things very straightforward and very simple, and um, and yeah, I guess there's several others too, but I don't want to make this video too long. But it just is an awesome devotional, and there's a lot of great lessons like that. Like I said, you will want to read Heaven is for Real before reading this one, because it won't make sense to you unless you've read Heaven is for Real. But Heaven is for Real is a great book, so I do highly recommend that one, and then I definitely highly recommend this devotional once you have read that. So I do give this one 5 stars. It is great. Not all of the lessons will necessarily pertain to you, but I think they're all great reminders and great lessons, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, guys, that's what I have for you for today, and I promise there will for sure be a reborn video tomorrow, so stay tuned, guys. Thanks. Bye.